Hello, Seeker, and welcome back, or welcome to the Sword of Truth podcast, the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with moonlit craft brew on the side. I know, it sounds nice, right? Summertime, it's warm out. Ooh, I've got a plan for later. I am Nate, and I am here with Jade and Aaron, and on this episode, we are, well, dying to get into chapter 55 of Temple of the Winds. Just dying.
Too soon?
Too real?
Yeah.
Raina just died.
Yeah, you see how happy he is about it?
And now, and now you're over here like a bundle of joy making death jokes.
Yeah, look at
You have to. You got to take the edge off. It's
too soon.
You got to shake it off.
Too soon.
Maybe.
May Raina rip in peace.
Wow.
Cheers. Cheers to Raina.
Cheers, Raina. Wow, yeah. This sure feels like you like cutting back like, no. Raina was my friend.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, yes, we are here discussing chapter 55, and we're going to get the fuck into it right now, okay? Because I'm running the show now. So we're just doing it.
I didn't consent to this.
Hey, we're doing it anyways. Richard and Kaylin are still reeling after Raina's death. Berdine has gone to the sliff. She wanted to tell Kara, and she needs some time to herself. Richard was like, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
No, seriously, Berdine. Do whatever you want at this point.
You need time to process, and that is okay.
Yeah. Richard is lost. He doesn't know what to do. They haven't gotten the message from the temple, and they are getting nowhere with the translating. At least that's how he feels, because he could translate for 5 years and not be at the end. Like, the thing could be at the very end of what he's translating. It doesn't fucking know.
Yeah, it could be too late. He goes, literally, we'll all be dead by the time I get that done. So, whatever.
Yeah, so just give up. Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Hey, you know what? If
I
you're
get
depressed,
it, though.
it's easy to just be like, you know what?
Yes.
What's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I can sympathize with Richard's thought process here. But also at the same time, that is the wrong thought process to have.
Yeah.
You should keep reading, Richard. I might discuss that later.
He hung Raina's Aegil since she wanted him to have it, like next to the amulet thing on his chest, and they match.
Yeah.
It's super cute. It's a matching set.
Do you think there's some sort of symbolism in that they are the same color?
I think there has to be because he mentioned it, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So I thought I had to mention it. That's why I put it in the notes, because I was like, that's got to be something.
Just all things the color red, kind of? That's what I like. Red. They're talking about the symbols and stuff a couple chapters ago, so I'm like, colors means something too. Then, right?
The amulet was about the dance with death, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the red represented a drop of blood.
Yes.
And
Life, death, passion.
Yes.
Raina's Aegil
Violence.
is red because
Stuff
of
like
blood
that.
and violence. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. Symbolism.
I think there's something there.
Yeah.
Symbology.
Symbology. Oh,
In his doubt, he's like,
go get me a coffee. No creamer. Sweet and low.
What?
It was a line from Boondock Saints. Never mind. I'm sorry. Continue. I went too deep.
in his doubt, he's like, Jagang is gonna win, and Kaylin gets upset, so he like immediately retracts it and is like, no, you're right. You're right. We're gonna do it.
Do you know what I think would help lift Richard's spirits up right now? Like a quickie in a broom closet.
Yeah.
Might.
Like,
That would absolutely do
Just
the
a-
trick.
just imagine how many things that might fix if right now Kaylin was just like, you know what, Richard? Come here.
And grief banging is a thing too. Like, it's very, maybe not important, but it's a very real thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Richard greets General Curson at the door. He's ready to give his report. So Kaylin heads to tell Dref and Nadine about Raina, and Egan goes with her. So we separate at this point. And Egan goes on to tell her that there's some people there to see her and Richard. And she assumes that they're just more petitioners in Petitioner's Hall. She's like, yeah, I bet there's a lot of fucking people out there waiting for us. We've been kind of busy.
Right? There's some shit going on.
Shit's been
Well,
real.
Probably less than you think, because, you know,
Oh.
the plague
Shit.
Yeah.
killing them.
Yeah.
So,
There
but
is that.
But yeah, I'm sure there's still some
Yeah.
people.
I'm sure
Yeah.
the people that are there are very passionate about what they are there for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Egan's like, nah, they were stopped actually going into a reception room by guards, which I thought was a neat little thing that was slid in there too. Like, Egan doesn't know how they got in the palace. They were just stopped going into a reception room. These creatures of magic were just stopped going into a reception room. They were already
already
in
inside
the palace.
This is not the first time this has happened.
No.
How the fuck did he get in here? Nobody really knows, but he was in here.
It just swept under the goddamn rug that this group of 7 people...
We addressed this earlier.
Yeah, this group of 7 people somehow just wound up in the middle of the palace somehow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, people are clearly going in and out of this palace, unseen and unknown, all the time.
I also, as a side note, one of these people, we find out in a minute, is super fucking drunk, too. So...
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, drunk usually means less stealth.
Yeah.
Less stealth?
Yeah, something
Did
like that.
I say that?
Yeah.
Right? Anyway.
No, you didn't say it right, but that's fine. We all know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Stealthlessness.
Less stealthy.
Stealthbology.
Anyways, okay.
Jeez.
So he does tell her they're Andolians. That's all he knows. He doesn't know how they got in, but they're Andolians. And Kaylin at that stops and kind of freaks out. She's like, what the fuck? They let Andolians into the palace? This is a bad thing. And she's like, okay, we don't want the soldiers to get them out. These people aren't exactly human. There are people of magic. Okay. There are people with magic in the Midlands, and there are creatures of magic in the Midlands. The Andolians are people with magic who are also creatures.
So, okay. Is there a parallel? Is there something here in the real world he's trying to make of the Andolians? Do you think?
No.
Okay. I didn't kind of think so.
It's weird.
I was trying to figure out what exactly this person, but not a person, but.
Ligers.
Okay.
No, what? No.
When you tried to
or
breed
the
a
gorilla
tiger.
corn. You know, the big gorilla with the horn on his head.
Sasquatch, maybe?
Something like that. I don't know.
Those are my
animals.
guesses.
Did you say gorilla corn?
Yeah, I did.
Like that's a thing?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if that's a thing.
Okay.
I hope it's a thing.
Jeez. Okay.
I just didn't know if you guys thought that the Andolians were supposed to be like representative of somebody.
I mean,
or not.
I don't think so.
Okay. But also what they say here about him is so non-descriptive of the power.
Yeah, this whole thing is slippery. That's what
It's
I felt
weird.
like.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's a slippery discussion. I don't know. I did feel that way. Okay, so they aren't. We're gonna keep going about
All right,
it.
yeah,
They aren't
please do.
usually dangerous if you know how to handle them.
Right.
That seems we're like already I'm like, this seems fucked up. What do you mean they're not dangerous as long as you know how to handle them?
Yeah, it's weird.
Physically,
that's code for is dangerous.
Yes.
By the way.
Yeah.
Like a dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, so people usually leave them alone, but a lot of people in the Midlands dislike them because they steal things, not for wealth, but for fascination. Fascination? Fascination. They like shiny shit, which I don't think is a bad
shiny
thing.
shit. No, you are definitely sympathetic to these people.
I like shiny shit,
Yeah.
okay?
Jade's Andolian.
That's fine. You know what? A shiny button? Yeah, I'll take it. I like shiny things.
To the extent of this, we were talking about throwing glitter on our bed. It's not for what you think. And I was like, I would never do that because glitter would get everywhere and then be everywhere forever. And Jade was like, I really don't mind.
See, the thing
that
is,
would be Jade's absolute best case scenario. She woke up one day and was just shiny.
Well, the reason this came up is because we were at the store yesterday, and there was an amazing, iridescent, shimmery, beautiful Disney 100th anniversary shirt, and I stopped talking in the middle, and I grabbed the shirt, and I just ripped it. It was a very clumsy thing that happened. And I was like, look at this! And then we bought it because I am obsessed. Like that
purely because of the shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't focus after I saw it. So I do understand, and I don't know why people hate them for this. They steal things, but it's not even for value. I mean, they could steal your gold stuff,
Well,
but really
yeah.
they just
Yeah.
throw something shiny. Throw a piece of shiny trash out there and they'll be fine. Just distract them like a little child with keys. It'd work. I promise you. Usually, they just show up because of curiosity. But they don't like them in the palace because they're disruptive, apparently. Like I said, though, if she followed her own rules and was just like, oh, let's get out that stick with the shiny shit on the end and make them go outside. It'll be like a cat.
Or just like, let them come in all at once. Be like, okay, they're coming in. Everybody put all your shiny things. Put your hands in your pockets, don't let them see. And we're going to have the big shiny ball at the end of the hallway. So they're all like, oh, fuck. Like the aliens from Toy Story and just kind of go that way. Yeah.
But
then they close the doors and then business as usual.
But apparently disciplining them can get nasty. So that's the problem with this whole situation is because if they try to steal something that they shouldn't, I'm guessing. They don't say this explicitly. Like, she doesn't say explicitly why, right? But I'm assuming it's because if they take something that they're not supposed to and you go, don't take that, then they get all pissy and probably do something bad. We don't know what.
This is my shiny thing and now I will fight to the death to defend it.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Because unfortunately, most shiny things are valuable.
Yeah.
So, it's like, if they were going to, like you said, oh, look, I turned a candy wrapper inside out. Look how shiny it is. Go, whatever. Oh, no, you took it. But also, like, my pile of gold. Yeah, like, don't take that, please.
Yeah. But they're like raccoons. So, like, this is my trash. Don't touch my trash.
Yeah. As soon as it's in their hand, it's theirs. Yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't want the soldiers to get rid of. Her plan is to give them a message because Andolians love messages.
It's just like their one thing.
Like bitches love messages. They're just like obsessed with it. That is more.
They love gossip.
Yeah, more than anything, Andolians love to carry a message. It makes them feel connected to their human side or some shit. That's why, that's what they live for. So all she has to do is give them a message and off they'll trot. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, just give them some tea and send them on their way.
Yeah, it'll be great. Egan wonders if that's going to get rid of all of them. And she's like, all? Like, what does that mean? There's not just like one or two? And he's like, nah, there's like one dude and 6 identical women with him. And she's like, oh, that's Legate Rishi and his 6 wives. They are sisters from the same litter. We don't know anything more about how important, like, it's implied that maybe these are the leaders of the Andolians.
Yeah.
And that it's important, but we don't, she's not like, oh, that's more serious than regular Andolians.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got. Was
that's
like,
the vibe, but we aren't told that, like, oh, if they were regular ones, it wouldn't be a big deal, but this is a big deal.
And the other thing is, like, I think it's Roman history. Legate is like a title.
I assumed. Like, I didn't know. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's where I was like, oh yeah, this is
looks
Legate.
like a member of the clergy, especially a cardinal representing the Pope, or a general or governor of an ancient Roman province, or their deputy.
Okay, see, so he's not like the leader then.
Yeah.
He's like just a representative of their country.
Well, that was
has 6 wives.
That was the hard part though, is because it was like I didn't fully get a vibe if that was a title and a name, or if his name is Legate Rishi. So I'm like, because I only read the audiobook,
like
so I don't know.
Name Legate.
Yeah,
I think it's a title.
I think it is a title after having read that.
Okay. So it might not be the leader, but this is definitely, general of the army, maybe
somebody of importance,
someone who's important enough to have 6 wives. I don't think they just give that away.
Somebody who's important enough to show up and expect to speak to Richard and Kaylin.
Yeah.
So Kaylin thinks that maybe she can send them with a message about the plague down to the wilds or some shit. Just get them out.
That's fucking mean, right?
Yeah, we know what's in the wilds.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a little fucked up.
And they have quarantined everybody who's come into the city since the plague started so that the plague doesn't spread farther.
And they're going to let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but guys, you don't understand. The Andolians are annoying. we can't let them stay.
What was the guy from? Oh, I can't remember the name of the movie. He was like, not him. He's so annoying.
Oh yeah, it's King Julian and Mort.
What is his
Mort?
name? Yes,
Mort.
I love that guy so much.
Okay, here's the other thing that also struck me during all of this. that Aiden had such a bad way of dealing with magical creatures. Like, Dahara has a Mord Sith as a protection, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Kara wasn't here, Kaylin's only way of handling magical creatures is to try and talk them down.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have Radahans that they can slap around them to stop their magic. They don't have a cell that they can shove them into that their magic is protected from. It's a terrible system for a magical, like this is a magical country, and they have no means of protecting the capital from magical terrorists. They can't stop them in any way. Without Kara there, they'd all be fucked.
Yeah.
There used to be a lot of wizards.
There used to be, and Kaylin is a confessor, so she could but
for right now,
with all those wizards there, they never figured out a set of handcuffs that they could slap on somebody to stop their magic.
Yeah, some deuterium handcuffs or whatever.
Like a Radahan. The sisters figured that out, and they didn't have all those wizards, but over here in Wizard Town, we have no means of protecting ourselves from these things.
Yeah, because
that is interesting.
They mentioned that the Andolians are basically untrained magic users, because they have magic, but they're a little risky with it. Yeah. And untrained magic users are dangerous. Like Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there because this is a common thing that's happened multiple times in Aiden that they just don't have an answer to, which is fucking weird.
It's more weird because of the fact that Aiden is like the main capital of the Midlands, right?
That's what she's saying.
Where all these people are expected to come at some point and be represented.
And every other magic place has a means of protecting themselves like that. Except Aiden.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. That's a recent problem. Because there used to be wizards, but a lot of them died to send Kaylin.
But why didn't they come up with an easier solution?
Yes. Oh, yeah. That should have been part of it. Like, hey, we're all going to die. What's going to happen after that? Did anyone bring that up? Did we enchant those handcuffs?
Or just a way for their guards to be able to protect.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not here, here's a magical device that you can use to protect the fucking city from a magic dude.
This is called a wand.
Jesus. Okay. Anyways, we need to get back to this, but okay. So, Richard and Kaylin and Egan enter the room where the Andolians are waiting. The women have yarn-like hair that is dyed yellow. I'm assuming it's kind of like dreadlocks. That's kind of what I was getting from yarn-like hair.
That's the real world symbolism I was getting from it.
Yeah. It's woven with shiny shit, which I thought was really cool. I've seen a lot of people with hair jewelry. I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking Jamaican kind of.
Yeah.
The way they braid the hair and then they have all the different decorations and shit in it. It looks really badass.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Their eyes are round and black, and they have a noble air. So I'm guessing, their eyes look like alien eyes in my head.
I can't help but picture, Admiral Akbar. Is that his name? The dude who talks really funny in episode 1.
The fish-looking dude?
Yeah, they're weird and fishy, but they just have the big black eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I picture when I think of these guys.
But they look like humans except for the eyes.
Yeah, but that's what makes it funny is because it's a human body and then that head. See? It is funny.
Okay. So
you're not wrong. However, I'm going to digress for you.
Just everything he says is in that voice too. So ooh.
The legate is shorter, but looks like an old bald man aside from his large black eyes. So he looks normal except for his eyes. He's just a short little old dude. The sisters and Kaylin greet each other saying, "We share the moon." And then the Rishi, that's what I go back and forth between calling him legate and Rishi.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to say it weird, so just letting y'all know.
What if, I know it's not much of a nickname, but you can go Leggy Rishi? Leggy Rishi?
Leggy?
Short
Just call him
Leggy? Could have just called Leggy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
He raises his hand all weird and slurs, "We shall the moon." Son. He says son.
Actually, I think there's a chance he said it like you said. For reasons we find out later, why the slur.
Kaylin returned the greeting as Richard enters the room. He comes in super fucking hot, asking why we're talking about the moon.
Yeah.
And Kaylin calms him down until she explains that these people are Andolians, and then Richard's brain starts, like, spinning. He remembers that Ricker was doing something with them, but he also maybe remembers that that's when he decided to put the book down because he was really fucking bored.
Because it was boring.
So he
love
didn't keep translating it, so he doesn't know what they were doing together.
Hey, Richard, do you know how some people describe the word success? It's when preparation meets opportunity, and you had the opportunity to talk to Andolians, but you forgot to do the prep and read the damn book that might have answers in it.
See, and maybe if he had translated, he would have like approached these people in a different way than he approaches them in this chapter.
Yeah. I get it. Sometimes you got to take a 5-minute smoke break. That's fine.
Yep.
But keep it to 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get your shit together, get back in the game.
Yeah. You are a leader of a whole ass country.
Empire,
and you're forcefully subjugating others as we speak. So maybe do some of your responsibilities in a timely manner.
Okay, so
I digress.
Rishi greets Richard as saying, "We share the sun. Men and women share the sun, but not the moon."
I love your drunk royal voice.
Nah, the moons are for the women's, Richard. The men have the sun. It's more powerful.
Richard seems confused, so Kaylin decides she's going to take the lead, and she tells Leggy that, or no, she is told that Leggy has been partaking of the happy drink.
Drink?
Really? A happy drink?
Yeah. It has made him slow, though.
Yeah.
He's been a little slow to get here because of it.
Weird how drinking sometimes makes time go by in unperceived ways. That being said, I'm pretty jealous of Leggy and his happy drink, and I think we should do our happy drink.
Happy drink, happy dance.
I do believe it is time for the beer break, sir.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And so today, we are not going to be discussing what we're actually drinking right now, because they're repeats. We're digging into some old favorites, but instead what you're going to hear is us earlier this year at the... Oh, Jade, you're going to have to help me.
Donut and Beer Festival.
At the Donut and Beer Festival. I always want to say beer and donut, but it was the other way around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had a fun day at that. I believe this will be the second one you guys are hearing, and there's many more to come.
So we are still fairly sober in this one, so enjoy.
Yes, yeah, this one's going to be on the sober side, and they are progressively going to get more entertaining, less professional.
Yeah, longtime listeners are in for a treat by the end of this thing.
So here is us at the 2023 Donut and Beer Festival.
Make sure to check that out for your own.
And we are back at the 2023 Beer and Donut Festival. Woo! I know, I'm excited. I'm excited because for today's beer break, I have just got a glazed donut with, what is it, pulled pork barbecue paired together from, let's see here. Oh, okay. It is a maple with maple bourbon pork belly burnt ends. And it is so fucking good. I can't even.
What are you
But it's
drinking?
paired with a donut, and I am drinking Shifting Sands from Pippin Hill Brewing. It's got Mario art on the can itself, so it was kind of a shoe-in. But it's very good. I mean, look, I feel how I feel about IPAs. I'm coming around to them. I enjoy it. I don't think there's anything too crazy that stands out about this one to me. But it's not bad. It's hearty. I'll say that. It's fuller than most IPAs I've had.
Oh, hi. I am here, and I am drinking Donut Stop Believing because it seemed appropriate for what we're doing here.
No alcohol content. I can get a picture of that.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. It has alcohol in it for sure, and it is just a Long John Ale, chocolatey and cream filled, and it took the midnight train down to Flavortown. It's delicious, and I like it. And then I'm also eating a cinnamon roll with brisket at the same time. So that's pretty, I remembered. It's pretty fucking awesome. And we're having a good day. having a good day.
All right, so I also had the maple donut with maple bourbon pork belly burnt ends on it. So Nate and I we're just straight up in heaven with that. But I paired it with a cider. So it's from Farmhouse Cider, which is actually not far from where we record the podcast normally. But it comes in at a nice smooth 4% alcohol. And it's blueberry lavender lemonade cider. I was a little bit worried about pairing all the fruit with the donut being very sweet, but it's been perfect. And so I'm gonna kick it off. And I realize that this might become a pattern, but I'm giving this 10 burnt ends out of 10 burnt ends. We are at another. It's tough because it's hard for me to just rate the cider because the pairing is a 10 out of 10. And I just think it's probably going to be that all day.
What Aaron said is, so now I know what heaven's like. We can all know what to expect now. No, I think the IPA from Pigeon Hill is going to get a 6 from me. I do enjoy it. I'm not trying to rate it quite so low, but I guess maybe after that blueberry that I had and some of the other things I'm tasting today, it's solid though. But yeah, 10 out of 10 on the burnt ends too, because that is, holy shit, that's life-changing. Now that I know that exists, I can die happily.
The donut stop believing we've had it on the show before. I think it's like a solid, I'll probably say 7 again. Okay. Being pretty, it's okay. It's okay. It's a drinkable beer. There's nothing like super out of the left field with it. So, I like it. Yeah, because of baseball field. We're in the baseball field. We're all doing baseball references. Because I don't know very many, Aaron. That's why we're not doing that. But all right, we will be back right after this with whichever episode you're listening to. See you then.
All right, and I'm so glad we're back after our happy drink because I don't think I've ever had anything bad happen after I've had my happy drink.
No?
No, I think it's always been peaches and cream, and I can only imagine the same is going to be going on for Leggy.
Oh. Well, we're going to have to see about that.
I don't think that's
Shit.
true.
Is Leggy too close to Eggy for Egramau?
Well, that's a different
True, different universe.
Yeah,
different
universe.
universe.
Show.
Okay.
Eggy doesn't show up
We
in
could
this.
lean
That's
into
true.
the
Okay.
Akbar thing and call him Egg. No, what is it?
No,
Legramont?
Nope.
And he could just talk that way.
Jesus Christ. No.
Okay, we're still Leggy. Sticking with Leggy.
All right. So Kaylin thanks the wives for telling her that he's been drinking. Because apparently you always thank Endolians if they tell you something about themselves because they consider that knowledge a gift. Like, I gave you something about myself.
Hey.
Well, you could see it as a message. It's a personal message.
I personally would have thanked her anyways.
Yeah,
because
because it's just nice.
It's always good to know if somebody is fucking tanked when you're about to talk to them.
That's also, that's a
good
that's
point.
A great point.
Yeah.
Hey, just one thing I got to tell you about Nate right now, Jade. He has been drinking.
Yeah.
I
like,
have
So
been.
maybe don't go into deep conversations, okay?
Yeah.
He's been drinking a lot.
That's all I'm saying. It changes your your perception. If you go into
Yes.
it not knowing that they're fucking drunk and they're acting weird, you're like,
Yeah.
are you okay?
You think
Is
something might
something
be wrong?
Or is this what you really... Is this how you really present
You
to
just
me?
are.
This is how
Yeah.
you are? But if they're tanked, you're like, okay, everything, grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking pile of salt. You know?
Just a rambling mess. Like,
Yeah.
no, with the chair to the moon and the sun.
Yep, this makes sense. Yep,
with
okay.
the moon. And all of us get to do. Is this suspicious? Like, no, we know.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. So Kaylin is like, all right, cool guys. Can you like take a message for me then? Because I know that's what you guys like to do. And they're like, nah, we can't. We already carry a super fucking important message. Can't do it.
Letter.
And then they start getting serious. Now they're like, the legate carries a message from the moon. And the legate slurs and tells them that the moon's sends a message from the winds.
And Richard's in the back like, I fucking called it. I knew he said moon.
One of his wives says again, we would have been here like way sooner, but he kept stopping to have his drinks. So like, sorry about that, but he had to have his drinks.
Yeah, and we keep saying happy drinks because the Andolians themselves never say alcohol or beer or mead or wine.
They don't know. It seems like they don't know what it is.
I think that's an important point to make.
Yeah. I'm putting a pin in that. Yeah. We can go into it if we want.
Yeah,
but
we can wait. We can save it for a little bit later. But yes, I think that's an important note to make, that they don't seem to be super aware of what this is.
Yeah. Yeah. In my eyes, they're squinted in a very suspicious way while I'm agreeing with you.
They think it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the term happy drink, though.
Oh, yes.
But at this information, Richard loses his mind. He screams about the people who died, how Raina had died because this man has been out drinking, and then he punches him in the goddamn face, laying him out.
Oof.
And then he vaults over the table, still screaming at him. Caitlin starts yelling at him, telling him, stop, these people have magic, and Kara then comes in like a fucking blur out of nowhere.
Fuck yeah.
Attacking Leggy, moving his attention to her as he's gathering his magic.
Strategy.
Yeah. The air thumps and Rishi goes down, a Geel on his neck. Kaylin's like, don't fucking kill him because of the message, not because, he doesn't deserve to be murdered.
Right.
For no reason.
Because he was a man who was literally assaulted and then defended himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also just real quick, I don't want to necessarily defend Leggy here. However, I'm going to read a passage because Andolian magic sounds cool as shit. Yeah. Wavering flames of light and undulating flutters of darkness radiated up his arms, gathering at his chest as he rose. This motherfucker was about to shoot just a beam of energy.
He was going to
that
hold you
surged from his hands, traveled up, and was going to just go boom.
He was Street Fighter.
It was going to look badass as hell.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad it didn't happen.
And we don't know. We don't know if that would have been like a concentrated beam at Richard or if that would have blown up the whole fucking building.
Oh, I'm picturing we're talking like Optimus Prime somehow gets an upgrade and just got a giant fucking laser beam in his chest. He's like,
fuck yeah.
Die, Megatron. Boom.
Like Iron Man's thing.
Iron Man. Yeah. Shooting it out the middle for Iron Man. Well, yeah, he turns his hands, the lights go low, and the chest gets brighter.
Yeah. Wow.
Like,
okay.
No, hey, Leggy, you fucked up. But also, can you do that for me later?
Okay, so when Caitlin yells this at Kara looks up at her, and she's like, I know. The message was in his magic, and I have his magic now.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. She's got it.
And so Richard has the room emptied of all the soldiers. He throws the legate by his robes. He grabs him by the neck and hucks him into a fucking chair.
What is it with Richard destroying chairs?
I don't know.
What
telling him
first thing he goes for.
He's screaming at him again, telling him to tell the message true, and it mentions how weak and feeble this man looks now, which is just like, I don't know. I don't know.
I was getting Christian Bale Batman, where's Rachel? Where is she? That's definitely the vibes I was getting from
Never
this.
go for the head.
Oh, no, not... Well, yeah, I
Makes
guess,
them all
yeah.
fuzzy.
Yeah. Which, with Leggy...
I can't do Akbar Joker. That's too hard.
I was going to say, with Leggy, more fuzzy is not good. He's already full fuzz.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's confused.
I've been punched in the mouth one time in my life. Like, square in the mouth. And I so literally dazed and confused after it happened. Like, there was no more rest of the fight. I just kind of stood there, and the other dude took off. But it is very confusing after getting hit in the head really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't expect to be hit in the fucking face.
You have to totally reassess your whole situation after that.
This man got hit in the
it's
face.
It's like waking up, you know?
He got hit in the face, laid out, and then he, got himself back up, and then he got laid out again by Najeel. So, he was just laid out twice. It's a lot.
And that's also, really bad for you, by the way.
And then hucked into a chair by his neck.
Oh, man.
like robes.
Dude is having a bad day.
Bad day. He was just trying to get a little drunk. Okay, so
the happy drink.
so he and Kara at this point speak at the same time. It's coming to them as it's spoken, so neither one of them knew the contents of this message before they got here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is for two people. It is for Richard and Kaylin, duh. She holds Kaylin and Richard start grabbing each other for dear life. They're like, they're sad.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. Rishi speaks to Richard alone. He points at Richard and he's like, the winds summon. He's not drunk anymore because he got hit in the face. The winds summon Richard Rawl. Magic has been stolen and used to cause harm. He must wed to enter the temple, and his wife is to be Nadine Bryan.
Boom.
Kara then speaks next, pointing at Kaylin. The winds summon her. Something has been stolen from the temple and used to cause harm, and she must wed to help Richard get in. Her husband will be drunken Rawl.
So this is absolute worst case scenario for both of them. I mean, for Richard, it's his brother. Again, the thing that he was so guarded against earlier in this book. Like, I don't want to let him in and then be hurt.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just not have a relationship than go through all that bullshit. And then for Kaylin, this whole book has been about Nadine trying to get after Richard. Mm-hmm. This has been building up for this whole time. It's just, it's not good for anybody.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
And knowing who Nadine is as a person now.
Oh, yeah.
As a person now. Like,
Yeah.
I understand why she was chosen to try and be a nice thing, but Kaylin tried to accept it. But if I were Kaylin, I'd be like, mm-mm.
But it's not all positive, though.
Nah.
This is the best of a worst case scenario, but also it is a punishment. It's like, it is a punishment.
And I don't want to say there's no one comes out on top here, because I kind of did call this. I had mentioned in one of the previous episodes that Kaylin has to think differently about Dreffin, because now Dreffin is someone she might have to marry.
Yeah.
And look where we are.
Yeah.
So someone with two thumbs pointing at my face came out on top.
Good job, Aaron.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah. Richard.
He's 1 for 1 on prophecies now.
Well, 1 for 2, because he has another one that he doesn't know.
That's true.
Oh.
You did make a prophecy.
And I got the wizard's rule wrong, so I'm actually we can go away from
1 for 3.
Stop counting.
We can stop
actually
tracking.
we can stop counting, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Richard sinks to his knees. All Kaylin feels at this point is numb. Everything's done. Everything's over. Richard starts pleading with Kara, begging her not to do this to them. She's like, I'm not fucking doing it. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. They both must agree to this of their own free will if they're going to do it.
This was actually pretty heartbreaking because Richard is a creature of logic. We know this about Richard, right?
Yeah.
And so we also know that Kara is kind of like being possessed right now.
Yeah.
This is not really her speaking. It's a spirit speaking through them. We've seen this before in the Mud People's village.
Yeah, it's
So-
Leggy's magic, which
Exactly.
but I took that to mean the same thing, that it's a spirit using magic to speak directly to Richard through now
her.
Kara
Yeah.
and Leggy.
Which means that when she says, "Hey, this is not me.
Yeah.
This is the spirits talking to you."
Yeah.
So because he's like, no, make it not so. Make it all just go away.
Yeah, but
just don't do this to me. And she says, "Hey, it's not me."
Because
And she explains that to him, and then he immediately is like, "But Kara, stop
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Make it not so again."
Yeah.
And it's like, it was so heartbreaking because
he's
it's
literally
like,
killing the messenger here.
he's
by
going
begging
crazy.
Kara instead of
Yeah.
the people sending.
I also just want to point out, I know that there are big things happening and they're all distracted, but this is the second time in this book that Kara has captured somebody with her magic, and instead of it working the way it's supposed to, she's been captured by the magic.
Yeah.
And nobody is concerned about this in the room. Like, I get that there's big things happening, right? They can't really stop to focus on it, but also that is just a concerning thing to me, that now the Mordsis magic has twice been like
backfired.
Yeah, backfired onto her.
That's true. I mean, especially since we know that's what their job is in the palace.
Yes.
They are meant to be the people that can capture magic.
Yeah.
In case they get a rogue wizard or something like that trying to hurt somebody, it can be stopped. But also that comes at quite a cost to these Mord Sith as well.
Well, like we said, like it made complete sense to us that the Mord Sith should be guarding this lift because it's like now people with magic can come through. Now there's people that or there's people that we already know that the Mord Sith can't control.
Right.
And on top of that, we've now had 2 very quick instances where total backfire. So it's like, oh, maybe Mord Sith should not be guarding this lift. Maybe they're just slightly less effective than we thought. They're still very good at what they do.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not as a wide range of a topic.
It's not a perfect solution to
it's
anything.
just
Yes.
more to look at.
Yeah.
Okay, so he asks why Kaylin has to fucking marry and is told that the winds require a virgin bride.
Oof.
He immediately is like, she's not one.
Nope. But we did it.
I put it in there. And they go back and forth for a minute until Kaylin's like, Richard, they're right. Shoda told me like a month ago that because we haven't banged here,
doesn't count.
It works. The spirit world bang doesn't count.
Look, so you guys, you fucked in like a spiritual sense, but as far as actually being in there, it was somewhat of a hallucination. Like it was good for both of you because it's 4 books now, for Christ's sake, and you guys haven't done it. So
the hymen hasn't broken.
Yeah,
is what comes down to.
Exactly. In her physical body, right here, you haven't done it.
Yeah.
And not that doesn't count to you two.
Yeah.
Right? But it doesn't count to the spirits.
Well, it's
even though they let you do it.
They were in a different realm. So in that realm, Kaylin is not a virgin. But we're not in that realm right now. We are in the quote-unquote real world.
Well, so let's go there. Y'all brought us there before.
Right. It's still like, it's still kind of backhanded.
Well, also.
But, yeah. I know, because I'm just picturing, from what you said earlier, Richard is like hunched over and just constantly pointing at Kaylin's vagina. I've been in there. I've been in there. I know what it looks like.
I know what it feels like.
There's a mole right here on her inner thigh. I know the rest of it too. I was in there.
See, what I'm thinking at this point that isn't addressed, right, is you getting the knowledge as you're standing there that the only thing that makes it okay for that's causing your wife, your fiance, to marry somebody else is because you didn't bang her here, and she knew.
Yeah.
She's known that fact for time, and
Yes.
she didn't tell you. She told you everything else, but she didn't tell you that little tidbit that you could have fixed.
Yeah.
You could have put it in there here yesterday,
Now-
2 hours ago, and it would have been fine.
Here's where I start questioning why this is. Is this supposed to be a purposeful character flaw on Kaylin? Or was this a forget moment? Because when Kaylin is coming clean, quote unquote, to Richard, she specifically mentions that she is still trying to hide stuff. So she was purposefully hiding that her being a virgin is a bad
Yes.
thing from Richard?
Yes, because I think what the goal is here, right? I think it's supposed to be that she acknowledges that they have to do this, right? Because this is their only chance. So if they had fucked, they wouldn't have been a virgin bride to give. Right? But I think that in the moment,
that makes so much sense.
in the moment, being Richard, would you connect those dots or give that much of a fuck?
Yeah.
Honestly, he doesn't. It's just not mentioned.
If she just came up to you and was
Holy
like, "Let me
shit.
put it on you," you're asking is, would Richard have the forethought
No. What I'm saying is that in this moment, when he finds out, when she says, Shoda told me
Uh-huh.
that it didn't count when we fucked in the spirit world and that I'm still a virgin and that's what's required.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago when I went and I didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
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 That moment isn't like that feels like a betrayal to me right there.
Yes.
That he would have been like,
Yes.
Fuck you for not sharing that information with me and having me be struck with that in this moment right now.
It does kind of remind me of earlier in this book when we talked about questioning people and how important it was to ask the right questions.
Oh, yeah.
And so, we learned in this book that even the smallest, dumbest, least important looking detail is very important because it could actually matter. And so now Kaylin holding this information from Richard when in the end it ultimately matters is I mean, it's not good that Kaylin did it, but yeah, it's not going to make the situation any better now that Richard knows it.
Yeah.
And again, Richard isn't just a normal dude. He's the seeker of truth. So if there was some way to get past the prophecy because Kaylin is not a virgin, but it has to be Richard, like somehow there's a tiny asterisk in the prophecy that they just didn't catch.
Yeah.
Who's going to be able to figure that out?
Right.
Richard.
And here's the prophecy mentions her betraying him in her blood, which is like, duh, having, you break the hymen, you bleed. That's what happens. So, like, if we just get around that.
But even then, it's like, hey, now, and I think this is more of what you were saying, it's just not shocking. It's like, yeah, we've been prepping for this for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We've come to terms with it.
Yeah.
We've already talked to Nadine. And, and now we don't have to do all of that at once, right now, right away, when we're about to go to the Temple of the Winds.
Yeah.
And everything's going to come to a head. And it's going to be better if we have clear heads and full stomachs and clear hearts and all this shit.
Yeah.
But no, all this last minute springing on bullshit.
Yeah. If she had told him the truth, if she had decided, you know what?
I digress.
You know what? We can't fuck because I have to do this. We have to do this is the only way.
Mm-hmm.
She should have gone to her man and said, hey, I can't, we can't fuck right now. That would fix this, right? I wouldn't be able to marry anybody, but the duty is to everybody here, okay? Like, had she just laid it on the table for him, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Richard might have been able to connect the dots that the betrayal in her blood just means that they can't break the hymen, which means anal and oral is still on the fucking table.
That's right. We've discussed this. It's the whole God can't see.
Yes.
So
they still could have been doing it.
So many ways in.
Yeah. Yeah. But just
literally.
But yeah, just like even had she decided, you know what, I have to not divert this prophecy. We have to go through with it. At least he would know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
exactly.
least you would know where she's coming from and know why it's
why
being
she lied.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. Asshole. All right.
So much has just gone through my head.
They just hug each other though. He doesn't get mad. They just grab each other because it's whatever.
Well, he's also been having a rough
this
few
is a bad
days,
day.
So, yeah.
It's a bad day.
Yeah.
Kara says this meets the requirements. Okay, this is the only chance that you're gonna get. If you don't take it, there's no more obligation to remedy the damage from the winds. This is the chance they are giving you.
Last chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only way. Otherwise, the magic is just gonna run free and kill everybody.
Oh.
So
that's all.
That does answer the question, though. They can supposedly stop the plague with magic. Not stop the spread of it, but it seems here that once they do the thing, it stops. All of it just goes away.
There is the opportunity once you get, I think this is what it is, once you get into the temple, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
You can stop the magic, you can reverse it, maybe not reverse it, but you can stop the magic, you can do whatever the fuck you want once you're in there. It's up to you once you're in there, which is where the problem comes, because once you're betrayed or the betrayer, do you care to change it?
Yeah, you've got some other shit on your mind.
It's like a touch nothing but the lamp scenario. Like you're in there for one purpose, but well, now that you're here and somebody else is on your shit list, your priorities change.
Yeah, it's all up to you now.
Yeah.
So they must all agree of their own free will, and this must be a true marriage in all aspects for life. Honest intent, faithfulness, all that bullshit. But we need an answer right now, which I have questions, but we will reserve for right now.
Okay.
Richard and Kaylin look at each other. She can see him dying, and she tells him that this is their duty, but if he wishes her to not go through with it, she won't, which is pretty fucking heavy.
It's very heavy. It's something Jade and I talked about earlier today. The concept of, hey, we have money. We can go build a ship and get all of our friends to quarantine for 2 weeks and then fucking get on the ship with months and months of supplies and sail out into the ocean and fuck everybody. We'll be back in a year and see how things are going. Now, that is obviously not the right answer, but it is something that is afforded to these people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also what they're weighing too. We could just fucking run away.
Well, I think there's layers. Like, number one, she's putting it on him then.
Also,
then-
yes, which is kind of...
Yeah. Then I might feel guilty for the rest of our lives, but you told me not to do, like, she's allowing a man then to tell her whether or not she's gonna go with her heart and do what's right, or not. Like, there's like layers to to her being like, I won't do this if you tell me not to, even though I fully believe with my whole heart that this is what we have to do. Like,
yeah, it's not a good choice, obviously, right? But there's always that, I don't know, temptation on your left shoulder that's like, hey, you could.
We could, though. Yeah.
You may not, but it is an option.
Yeah,
and that thought definitely sneaks in there.
This might come as a surprise to you guys, but in this moment, I was starting to think that maybe Richard and Kaylin don't have the healthiest of relationships with each other.
Yeah, that was the vibe I got from it when she was like, if you tell me not to, I won't, even though that's obviously not what she wants. Like, it was a... Yeah. Not super healthy. He says he can never ask her to have him at the cost of others' life, which is more healthy, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
good honesty.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
She asks if he can think of any other way to get around this, and he's like, nah, I failed you. I'm sorry. I'm a piece of shit. All of that.
He starts spinning.
Yeah.
People spin.
Yeah. She's like...
Straight down to the rabbit hole.
She's like, no, you haven't. We can't be the cause of more death, okay? It's...
Yeah.
It made sense, but it also felt very like, we are saying the things that we need to say to hit the end of this chapter a little bit. I don't know. It was a little back and forthy, like, I don't know. It didn't feel emotionally, I don't know. It didn't feel natural the way they were talking to each other.
I think it was born of exhaustion
Yeah.
and frustration and giving up.
Well,
I think that's what it was.
That, and, I mean, I don't like beating a dead horse, even though I probably do it way more than I should already. But Richard and Kaylin do not have a healthy relationship with each other.
Yeah.
They are constantly lying and doing stuff behind the other's back.
Yeah.
So when these big emotional moments happen, no, I don't give that much of a shit. Because I'm like, these are two 13-year-olds who don't know what they're doing, and this is the first time they've ever lusted after someone.
That's
'Cause
true.
Let's not forget about the Spirit House and the Apple.
Yeah.
That was pure lust.
They've only been together for like a year and a half, if that.
And of that time that they've quote-unquote been together, they ain't been together much.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, this stuff is just like, yeah, wow, this is sad, but they're doing the right thing, so
Also
good.
not surprising.
2 thumbs up, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you spent most of your life anticipating this was going to be your life anyways, Kaylin. It's only like, it's sad. It's sad, okay? You thought you had a chance at something else.
That does bring into the age-old question.
But you did plan for this kind of for a while.
Is it better to have loved and lost than never loved at all?
I guess, apparently according to Kaylin, never loved.
Yeah, I think she thinks that'd be better, yeah.
Okay. But she tells him that she loves him, and his response is, all right, we're agreed. We must do it.
But not it. They're not going to do it.
No, I just
Not
thought
the
it was
Not
gonna do
interesting. This is potentially the last time that they could say that to each other.
Yeah.
And she says it to him,
Yeah,
She gets one in there.
and he
we're going to do it.
does
gonna do it.
not.
Yeah.
No, I love you. She says, I love you, Richard.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
goes, we're agreed then.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a fucking Han Solo moment? I love
Kind
you.
of.
I think it's a
I
bit.
know.
I think it's
Yeah.
a bit worse than that.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah.
think it's
Yeah,
a
he
lot
doesn't-
more malicious than that. Han Solo's a badass. Richard can be a badass, but in this moment, I think Richard's a bit ticked off.
Be a dick.
I just didn't. I didn't like it because
Yeah.
it's their last potential moment, and he doesn't say "I love you" back to her.
Gosh. Yeah. That's cold.
All right, so they turn to the Leggy and Kara. They agree to marry Nadine and Dreff. Kaylin loses control, falls into Richard sobbing. He squeezes her. Kara and Leggy pull them apart, telling them you are promised to another, and you must be faithful to your mates.
Yeah, this is fucking awful. This just happened. Raina just died. You guys are already upset about that. You got to walk all the way up a fucking mountain, which can be upsetting. And then you get to this place, and it's just, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And then when in the moment when you need to grieve because your life has just been destroyed, then they're like, no, you guys can't fucking do that anymore.
You know what I would turn if I was Kaylin and emotionally lost at this point? I would turn and scream in their face and be, "Friends hug! Friends hug!"
Yeah, that's what they're like. Hey, you got to be faithful to each other. I was like, these people are not fucking or flirting.
Yeah,
they are having a very sad moment together.
Well,
and that is not the same thing.
At the same time, though, if this is the theory that we think it is, which is this is like actual spirits talking to them, the spirits know they love each other. So it's like they know that now that they are promised, this is not a friend's hug. This is unfaithful lovers hugging. But yeah, I mean that goes back to like what we were saying or what we kind of talked about before, but it's like it's supposed to be an inherently honest marriage, and it's like, but they're being forced into these marriages. So how could they ever be honest? So let them hug for a few minutes. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what they look at each other. They know they have embraced for the last time, and Kaylin's world is ended. And I'm just the whole time I'm like, even in my head, I'm screaming, "Friends hug." Okay, fuck off.
Oh god. If you were there in the background of the scene, just going, "Friends hug, friends hug." Fuck, that breaks my heart to picture that.
Well, I don't think Richard and Kaylin have the healthiest of relationship, but like this does make me still feel a little sad because it's like, they can't hug Kara.
Yeah.
Because Kara is
possessed.
Not fully Kara right now,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the spirit would be like, "No, don't touch me, bro."
Yeah.
And they're just in there with the wives, and I guess maybe Ulick.
Yeah, they need comfort.
I mean, granted, he could hug both Kaylin and Richard at the same time.
We've never seen emotions from either Ulick or Egan yet, though, so I don't know.
The most emotional we saw Ulick and Egan was when they still barely showed any emotion except for one single tear.
At Raina's death.
The one single tear.
Yeah.
And then Egan is the one that doesn't ask questions, right? He's the quiet one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I really wish we got more of Ulick and Egan at some point.
Yeah.
Like a little side quest. Maybe we should write a little fan fiction for Ulick and Egan.
Oh my god. I think that we could probably do that.
Because I like them, but they don't get enough screen time.
Yeah. I just wish that Rich and Kaylin could have fucked.
Yeah, that is the big regret here now, isn't it? I mean, they can't say it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like somebody called it. Somebody who has a podcast has been calling it for fucking years at this point.
It's good to fuck.
Just get it out, man.
I just feel like it's never really addressed in this or the next chapter, and we'll talk about it in the after show. But just at that, that's for Richard, I feel like that's like a low blow to his ego. Like, everyone's been telling me I can't get close to this woman for the last, book and a half just because we weren't married or whatever the fuck. And now
all the way since book one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, that was Zed constantly telling him, "Richard, you can't be with her. Knock it off."
I found out we could fuck, and everyone's been stopping me because we aren't married, and now she has to marry somebody else. It's messy. So we'll see you in the after show if you're a Patreon subscriber. Otherwise,
I think we can agree that fucking is good, and I think that's
agreed.
I think that's our truth.
Agreed. That is our truth. And now that you guys have heard our truth, we would love to hear yours. If you guys wanted to let us know what you thought about this chapter or this episode, you can write in your journey books to podcastatt@gmail.com, or you can find us on any of our social medias If you
That new soundboard you bought, Nate's really paying off.
I can hear the subscribers already. If you really enjoyed this episode, you probably did now. You can head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/podcastatt for side quests and watch-alongs and more general shenanigans.
Fuckery?
Fuckery. I like the fuckery.
Shiffuckery.
That we do over there. You also get access to our
Shuckery.
Discord channel, so you can get in while we record these episodes, and we can hang out there. It's awesome. So once more, thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you real soon.
Bye.
Yeah, so fuck when you can.
Fuck when you can.
Yeah.
Cheers to fucking.
Cheers to fucking.
Are you leaving now?
Yeah, I gotta go fuck.
No, Sue.
Bye.